Repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair.
Save up to $4,000 on in-stock 2026 Buick Encore GXs at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off on this top-selling midsize SUV, or $2,000 off and 0% financing for 60 months on 2026 Buick Envisions. These are limited-time offers with approved credit. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Looking for quality building materials and service you can count on? Visit Lumber One. Lumber One carries lumber, plywood, drywall, insulation, and roofing. Also, cabinet takeoffs for both kitchen and bath. Their full-line door shop offering exterior and interior doors, windows, and trim. They also provide blueprint takeoffs and estimates. Visit Lumber One at 3335 Industrial Park Road in Van Buren or call 474-4444. Lumber One. Go where the pros go, where service still matters.
KERX Paris Fort Smith.
The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 16 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is driven by Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and online at rathauto.com. You're rolling with Rath on the Morning Rush.
All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
The winning right now has got to be the mindset. There's no holds barred the way we practice, the way we prepare. Obviously, you don't sit there and say, hey, we are, right? People say, are you building a program? There's parts of that, right? No one wants to talk about a rebuild, but we are doing this thing day by day to put us in better position for long-term success. But the idea is to go out there and line up and win.
Everything's not always about winning and losing. I'm a winner. I'm going to win.
Live from the Bud Light Studios. Produced by Christian Johnston.
With Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
This is the Morning Rush.
So we've been talking about Remember the Titans the last few days after the passing of Hayden Panettiere, and brought back some good memories of that movie, and talked about, hey, got the new big screen up in the practice facility. Be a good movie to watch as a team. Evidently, they slept in the facility the other night, which we could discuss coming up. But you heard Ryan SIlverfield there. He's on Jim Rome yesterday, who I'm going to guess is a connection, and the connection was John Calipari, and they're friends. Rome and Cal are friends. I'm going to guess that Cal may have had a hand in getting him on Jim Rome yesterday. And so he answers that question, and what Kurt Cignetti did in Bloomington, Indiana is like change the thought process of how quickly coaches are expected to win. I'm still not expecting them to get to bowl eligibility this year. Honestly, if they get 5 wins, I think that's considerable improvement, especially since their win total is 4.5, 3.5, depending on where you look. I think year 2, bowl eligibility at the least. And then year 3 is kind of like, all right, let's get this thing rolling a little bit. What is kind of your expectations? We get rolling this morning here on a Thursday. When do you actually expect Ryan SIlverfield to start winning here at Arkansas?
Week 1. He better win week 1, right? He better win in 16 days or whatever it is now. Here's my hope for this season. I've said this all summer. I want to end the season when you are done with the LSU game and know you've hired the right coach. What does that look like? Well, some of that's wins. Some of that's how you play in losses. I mean, let's be honest. There's no moral victories. I hear you. But there is a difference in getting your brains beat in by 50, and there's a difference in being in a game with a Georgia or an LSU or a Texas or a team like that you're not expected to beat. If you go to A&M and play them to a touchdown, yes, it's a loss, but you're going to feel a lot better about you've hired the right guy. So how you play in the losses matter. But, somewhere in all of that algebra for me, what is success this year? It's knowing you've hired the right coach. Probably to feel that way, you got to win 4 or 5 at least, and you got to be competitive in the games you don't really expect much.
A lot of that is also what he says after a loss. Just how he handles a loss.
Do you look prepared? Do you look like a team that lines up right? Do you commit stupid penalties that are unforced? We've talked what have they talked about all summer? Taking care of the football. Well, do we follow through on all this effort? I'm not going to say he made a promise. I promise we're going to take better, but you know what he has done? He's made it a point of emphasis clearly Does that result in a better outcome? Those are all the things I'm not one that's expecting 6 or 7 or 8 wins this year. Obviously, if you get anywhere in that conversation, you've hired the right guy. It is people are going to have to really figure out what end of the crow they want to start eating with Hunter Yurachek at that point. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it for me, but I just want to know that when does he have to start winning? I don't think it's this year, but you can't win 2 again. You can't win 3 again. You've got to be 4 better, in my opinion.
All right, so let me play off that because that has been something you've consistently said. Did you not feel that way about Sam Pittman after the 20 season with 3 SEC wins,
Sure.
only 2 blowout losses?
I felt like we hired the right guy then. And for a little while he was. And then it came, the world changed, not just from COVID, but with NIL and the funding and all that, just because they're the right guy doesn't mean they're going to be the right guy forever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just
in the college football model. That was again in 2020. You didn't have NIL. July of 21, you did.
But people can only take you so far.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's true in any walk of life. There's only so far you or me are able to take the jobs we're in. And if you want this company or this show or this whatever, your insurance portfolio, your law firm, whatever, you may have to hire a different level of talent to get to, I don't know how far Ryan SIlverfield – is Ryan SIlverfield capable of winning 11 games? I don't know. But that's not the goal right now. I don't know how far this guy could take this program. It's way too early to even have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Can he get it up out of the ditch and back on the pavement this year? That's the question. So, all right, that's where we begin. It's Thursday morning. Who wishes it was Friday already?
Hands up.
Hands up. Back on the wheel there. Hey, we're brought to you by our friends at the Pradco store inside Bass Pro Shops in Fort Smith. Get over to that store and check it out. You can customize any lure that they've got on the shelf there. They got their own space, and here's the thing. It's one of a kind. It's at the Bass Pro Shops Outpost in Fort Smith. There's no other stores like this in the world, and they're hoping to expand this. So you can go in, you can put your company logo, your picture, family stuff on there, a message. They can do just about anything with it, and it's only a $3 upcharge. It's the Pradco store inside Bass Pro Shops Outpost in Fort Smith.
All right, give you a setup of the show today. Had a chance to hear from David Johnson, running backs coach at Arkansas, Braylon Russell, also Sutton Smith. Sutton's fine. He talked about that. We'll get into some of what they had to say momentarily and talk about Braylon's timeline a little bit. I know it was a little rocky after freshman year. He's back for another season, and there's a backstory on that he got into as well. Rory McIlroy and Scotty Scheffler had some comments on live golfers potentially coming back into the fold of the PGA Tour. And discuss that a little bit. Mentioned Ryan SIlverfield being on Jim Rome. There's a few other clips that we'll play from that. Cool fall ball type of thing with the Diamond Classic. That's both softball and baseball, which I think is unique. There's the new temporary restraining order with college athletes in 22, some that were on preseason NFL teams. That's definitely having an impact. And then Tom Murphy's going to be back with us as well.
Think about that. For the first time ever, you've got people potentially leaving an NFL roster to go be back in college.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you that's never happened, right?
Well,
you don't even need to look that one up. We don't need AI. We don't need Google for that one, right? Yeah, hey, Coach, I really appreciate the opportunity here with the New York Giants, but I'm going back to Arkansas.
Yeah, imagine walking into John Harbaugh's office in New York or wherever they are right now for training camp and being like, hey, I'm going to go back to Baton Rouge. Mm-hmm. And he just kind of looks at you for a sec, just confused, because the whole idea and the concept of playing college football, not just obviously for the name on the front of your jersey, but a lot of kids have aspirations to play at the next level. When you finally get to that next level, it's a big stinking deal. And obviously when you go from whether you're on the practice squad or you get signed to becoming a starter or at least a player in the National Football League, and now you're seeing kids, as you mentioned, not only in the NBA process, but also the NFL process that are they're heading back to school.
Yep. Hey, we mentioned a minute ago 16, 17 days, however we're counting it now. But 2 weeks from Saturday is the first game. Ryan SIlverfield will lead the Razorbacks through the Big A for the first time. Tickets are available for a single game purchase right now, starting at just $25. There's 7 games in Fayetteville this year. Season ticket packages are still available. SEC play kicks off with the Georgia Bulldogs on the 19th of September. Plus, you can see Tennessee, Missouri, South Carolina, and LSU all in Fayetteville this year. Get your tickets for single games or for the season at ArkansasRazorbacks.com. That's ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
Russell in Boonville asking this question on the Loose Automotive Group hotline. Why is John Gruden, why was he at the university last week? Gruden was in Oklahoma on Saturday. He was in Fayetteville on Sunday. He's asking if Silverfield had him speak. Usually they put up videos, like they put up the CEO of Lowe's, they put up Darren McFadden. Houston Nutt was out at practice. Don't know if he necessarily spoke to the team, but I'm going to go on a hunch and say no because you didn't see the video.
I haven't seen anything on Hogs Plus or anything of that nature. So I don't know.
Could be wrong on that, Russell.
Driving through,
no.
but no, I don't. Obviously took a video at the stadium. John Daly's his friend. I think that probably he was, doing that maybe as a shout out a little bit to Daly because he did mention him. But he's a football guy. Hey, I'm going to be close to Arkansas's campus. I'm going to go by and see the stadium. And he is in the media. What's the media's job? Create content that gets clicks and conversation. Well, mission accomplished.
Yep, did that. All right, so we mentioned some of those kids coming back to campus out of the NFL. I don't know what their class schedule, if at all, looks like. I know for South Carolina quarterback Lenora Sellers, who Arkansas will see this November, doesn't have a course workload that maybe you had your senior year. Here was him earlier this week talking about what he's doing in the midst of his final season in Columbia.
Got a couple off-topic questions for you. With your degree, are you pretty close to finishing that up? Or?
Yeah, so I'm done with all my classes. I just got my internship this semester, so that's all I'm doing.
Okay, what is your internship here?
I'm doing Part T, just facility management, stuff like that, cutting grass, picking up balls, little stuff like that.
This is the opening drive.
So this comes off the heels of Carson Beck telling reporters in the, I believe, semifinal game that Miami had that he wasn't enrolled in any classes at this point. And he's been in college quite some time, coming over from Georgia and then to Miami. Sellers has been at Columbia, I think that it's either his 4th or 5th year, but he's graduating in December. And that's not a bad senior year to.
But you got to be enrolled in some class. I mean, this internship's part of it, but
you got to as the class,
right? So I mean, you got to be a student to be a student athlete. So you got to be in something.
This is just back when I was in school. And this was for Arkansas scholarship lottery requirements. You had to take a minimum of 12 hours each semester, but your final semester, which this is his final semester, you could take a minimum of 6. So I had an internship like he did at the radio station, and then I had what I thought was going to be a throwaway class ended up actually being kind of difficult, which pissed me off. But that's not out of the norm to take a very, very light schedule in your final semester. But for him, I mean, can you imagine all you have to do for half a year in college? And obviously he's got all this film he has to watch, and there's a lot of pressure on him being a quarterback in an SEC school. But your classwork, your course load is going to the driving range and just kind of diddling around.
You ever worked at the driving range? I have. It's not as easy to work. Now, if they've got one of them carts you can drive around and pick up the golf balls with it. One of my first jobs was picking the range by hand every day.
I'm going to guess
that was not a ton of fun.
Again, I'm going to guess Lenore's is not doing that. I don't know. Now, maybe there's driving ranges out there, but most of the time they have the tractors or the pull carts or whatever that are collecting all the balls at once.
Vienna Hills Country Club had a shag bag and my 2 hands. And you had to, and it was driving range and went straight uphill.
I bet that was tough on your back, man. That would hurt.
I think that's a good marketing tool by this party. The starting quarterback of the most popular university outside of Clemson in your state.
I bet he's not there much.
No, I'm going to guess not either. But that's at least something to do. He's probably in whatever facility that they have in Columbia relative. And I still think there's a good chance that by the time they come in here on November the 14th, that Shane Beamer's not their head football coach, and maybe it's Kendall Briles as an interim or whoever, They hired him in the offseason from TCU, I think. That's a game that I think Arkansas fans feel like of any SEC game, that's the most likely they could win at home.
Yep. Need some home wins this year. But, hey, I wish my last semester of college had been less of a grind. So good for him.
What did you load up at the end or what?
Man, I took – because I worked pretty much I worked a full-time job from freshman year to all the way through. I went 6 years, year-round, and the most I ever took in a semester was 9 hours.
Okay.
Because I worked. So I think early on, maybe like freshman year, I had some 12-hour semesters. But pretty much my college career was in the summer, it was usually 6 hours, which was tough because it's all condensed and compact in summer 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But, man, I went year-round for 6 years. I think I had to retake 3 hours out of 124. So I was pretty happy
Did you
with
have
that.
to retake any hours, Big C?
No, not in college.
I think I had one class I made a D, and I had to take it one time. It was a rough semester. I was going through a divorce and dealing with that and running a business. And
that's understandable then.
So,
text from Chaz in Fayetteville. Bryles did well with KJ Jefferson. He'll likely get the most out of Sellers if they protect him. Again, that's been Shane Beamer's problem in Columbia. Their offensive line has sucked. They've been terrible. They've had great skill position players. I mean, Harbor's one of the better wide receivers in the SEC. You've got a kid in Lenore Sellers that you feel like should be a top 6, maybe even a top 3 or 4 quarterback in the league. But when you're getting sacked 3, 4, 5 times a game, it's not going to matter. Ask KJ. That's what he dealt with 2023.
yeah. Hey, the last holiday weekend of the summer's coming up. So what are your plans for Labor Day? Is it pool parties? Is it watching football, backyard barbecues, maybe a last trip to the lake? Labor Day weekend has become a traditional time for family and friends in the natural state. But sadly, it's also become one of the deadliest times in Arkansas with drunk drivers endangering themselves and others. It's illegal to drive with a blood alcohol level of 0.08 or higher. We all know that. And if you do, the consequences are severe. Not only do you lose your license, you get a free ride to jail, court costs, attorney's fees, fines, probably racks up into the tens of thousands of dollars. Plus, then you have to have an ignition interlock, which means you got to blow into a tube that detects alcohol in your system just to start your car. And by the way, you get to pay for that as well. So none of that sounds like fun to me. So enjoy the last holiday weekend that's coming up with Labor Day weekend. But think before you drink, drive sober, or get pulled over. This message brought to you by the Arkansas State Police.
Alan says he also just had to take one retake class in his 5 years of college.
Yeah.
And Matt asking, how is it his final semester? Aren't there 2 semesters per school year? Like Tommy, you can take, whether it's summer classes, you can take intercession classes, you can do...
Never did that.
Yeah.
I wanted my break at Christmas.
I don't blame it. You can work around, really, there's technically, because there's fall intercession, there's the winter one, you got summer, there's really, 6 semesters?
Summer one, here was the problem, and I paid my way through out of my pocket. Summer 1 and 2 were a killer because they don't give you a break on the cost per hour. And it's a 4 or 5 week semester.
And then classes
and then so you have all fall or spring to pay off because I was putting on credit cards.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any money. So, man, summer would kill me because there was no time to pay it off. So, man, I just had to carry it.
Well, it's also they condense it into that 4-week span when the same class is offered over several months, and so it's
I'll take it in the summer; it'll be easier.
Yeah, 3-4 hours a day. That's like I've got a friend right now. He's doing his MBA at Rice, and I've had a few others that are doing this, and they did it over several years. He's doing it on weekends, so he has to be in school every other weekend.
Oh, every other?
Yeah,
I've seen some of those weekend deals, and you go every.
Yeah,
it's like all day Saturday and half a day Sunday, and those are some people that want to, guys.
And he what he cited is the amount of money that he can make relative to what he's making now and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, you could not pay me to go back to the University of Arkansas, aka the Harvard of South, or any other institution right now to retake whatever. Like once I got out, I was done, got the diploma, got the pictures, shook Todd Shields' hand, and was done. Never doing that again. Never. All right, let's talk to Ryan, who's in Hot Springs. He has some thoughts on Kendall Bryles' board. Ryan, go ahead. You're on the Morning Rush here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline.
Hey, good morning, guys. I was thinking that old Beamer's success is it's totally exclusively tied to how well that offense does this year because, it'll either be really good or the South Carolina fans are going to be leaving their heads scratching kind of like we were. He would do some really good stuff, and then he'd get really cute and botch some drives. I think the maddest I've ever been after a loss, and we've had some pretty rough ones, was probably the 2022 loss to Missouri because, that second half he benched Rocket, and then at the end of the game, we're trying to do a tight end sneak from like the 3-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
You got the SEC rusher sitting on the bench, and you're not using them for whatever reason. I know he had a rough first half, but when
he was here, he thought he had the Kansas City Chiefs personnel with Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and all the skill position players that Andy Reid has at his disposal years ago. We were the Dallas Cowboys. Hand the ball off to Ezekiel Elliott, run play action with Dak, a.k.a. KJ, and run it with him. Like you said, he tried to get – there was a game against Texas A&M and Jerry World. Like, we're moving the ball, can't slam it down the throat. Then he brings in Gadget Malik Hornsby to come in. It was just like, what the hell are you doing? Like, this is working. It doesn't matter if it's
that was always the complaint.
It's oatmeal. We're cool with oatmeal as long as it tastes good, as long as it's good. But he tried.
Ask Ken Hatfield about that.
He would try all these different things. Like you're saying, Ryan, it was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah. He was gadget guy.
The other thing that used to drive me up the wall is all the receiver passes when we didn't have the receivers that had the talent to do it. Like, it's cool if it works, but how many times? I think it worked like twice out of 10 times.
What was the Ryan? What was the? He did a deal with a tight end on a throwback or something that was just what help me remember that.
Yeah, against A&M, I think.
And it was like the strangest trick play and the worst moment you've ever seen, and you're like,
right.
Where everything's tight and condensed. I think of an interception.
I can't remember, but it was like, it
right,
was one of those that's easy to say, what a dumb play call,
Listen, he was too smart at times for his own good. Like, sometimes coaches want to prove how good of coordinators they are, particularly on the offensive side. You want to be the whiz king. You want to be just pick out like a Sean McVay. Why am I blanking on the Miami Dolphins old head coach? Short guy, beard, Mike something.
Oh, yeah.
Not McDonald. I can't think of his name. Cold would know it. But, like, you want to prove to your fan base and the head coach, hey, I know I can do this, I can do that. It's like, no, just do what's working. If it's working, if it's broke, don't fix it. And too many times it wasn't broke, but he tried to fix it during the
You got Sean Andrews and Jason Peters on the left side. I think I'd just run behind Sean Andrews and Jason Peters, Yeah, if you're right. If you found a mismatch, exploit it. So, all right, we're talking about games coming up 2 weeks from Saturday's the first one in Fayetteville. If you're thinking about the schedule and getting up to the hill to enjoy some games this year, stay at the Inn at the Mill. That's where we stay when we need a night out or a place to stay for the weekend. The Inn at the Mill is conveniently located off the Johnson exit. That's exit 69. So if you'll run north up to Benton County to enjoy a dinner on the square in Bentonville, or maybe you got to do something in Rogers, or if need to get on campus for tailgating in the game, it's just minutes away as well. 479-443-1800 or book online at inatthemill.com.
Going to hear from Braylon Russell and David Johnson when we come back, plus Sutton Smith. Hog Update is on the way.
Call or text the Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
Delay. How do you stay ready for a moment like that?
Honestly, just went inside and had some pizza and a Dr. Pepper.
This is the Morning Rush.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert.
This is Matt.
This is Raleigh, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
We are the only family, alumni, and locally owned Razorback store. We went to school here. We live here. We get what every Razorback logo means.
Plus, we're the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole, and almost every item that comes into our store has our stamp of approval. We want the best graphic on the best item, and that's what sets us apart.
Whether it's pennants, fan cave items, or other clothing, we take the time to get it right.
Hey, Dad, do you know what they call a pallbearer from Tulsa?
No, what?
Karaoke.
Matt, that's my job to do the dad dad joke.
Well, you said you were going to retire someday, so I should start practicing.
Anyway, you can stop by the stadium shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville next to Baum-Walker Stadium.
Or you can call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or if you can't get to Fayetteville, you can check us out on the Googleator at shoponrazorback.com.
Dad, you actually got most of that right. How'd you do that?
Well, if you're going to do the dad joke, then I need to step up my Googleator knowledge.
There's no hope for you, is there? Folks, it does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
Everything's not always about winning and losing. I'm a winner. I'm going to win.
This is The Morning Rush.
Get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and make the switch to any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles and get state
Tommy
sales.
Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
We've got big news from Roback. This entire week, Roback is launching its brand new collegiate collection, just in time for the fall season. And if you're an Arkansas fan, you're in luck. The Arkansas collection officially dropped, and there's plenty of inventory available. So whether you're headed to the stadium, watching from home, or just looking to upgrade your game day gear, now's the time to check out Roback's new Arkansas Collegiate Collection. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they loved the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
I got one question for you. What are those?
It's cute. I wish I could get it, but...
Hey, how much you pay for that taco?
Hey, yo, you know this, boy. He's got his free taco.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, paper mouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Football is back, and whether you've been betting for years or you're just looking to put a little action on the games, MyBookie is where I'm playing this year. Find a play you like and take a shot. You can find the action you want and bet it wherever you are when the game kicks off. And if you're new to the club, the Bet Back bonus gives you protection on your first play. Sign up with my promo code HOGS. Opt into the Bet Back bonus and take your first shot with a safety net. If your first wager loses, you'll get it right back. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
McFadden goes 73 yards. And Allen has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
You can tell there's a sense of urgency for him. He's been waiting for this. Just didn't know how to go about it, and now he's in a good light, and I keep telling him, I'm pushing him. I try to push him sometimes just to see what he's going to do, how he's going to respond. And I think he's been doing a good job of responding the right way because I coach him extremely hard. And I think he's excited about the season. He wants to see, what he's going to do, how he's going to be, productive.
You have to progress. You have to look in the mirror, and the man in the mirror will never lie to you. So you look in the mirror, and you be like, okay, so what has to change? And to win, something has to change.
Heard David Johnson, running backs coach here at Arkansas, and then also Braylon Russell touching on just his upcoming season. I was just kind of curious, looked at his timeline this morning on 24/7 Sports. So he entered the transfer portal on December 10th and then came back out of it on December 10th. This is back in 24, by the way. Then entered it again on the 15th, came back out of the 21st. I remember us discussing that at the time, and I thought there was a third one, but that was the only one that 24/7 Sports listed. So then you have this sophomore season, didn't probably take the jump that he wanted to take, and obviously neither did the team. They go 2-10. And now there's a lot of people wondering, hey, junior year, you've really reshaped your body. 4-star kid out of Benton, Arkansas. It's the year to shine with the new head football coach.
And put all that behind you. Some indecisiveness, can't make up your mind. Who knows who was in his ear? Clearly, he's a player. Everybody in the previous staff wanted, and I think they're glad to have him. How would it change your outlook on this season if Braylon Russell wasn't on that depth chart? It would mine. Mm-hmm. So. I think when we look back, he's whatever success they end up having on offense, he's going to be right in that middle of that conversation.
Yeah, and on the rushing attack, I know people are wondering, hey, what's this going to look like? Coach Johnson expanded a little more on that.
Sutton's a guy who could probably take you 60 or 70 yards, but Braylon's the back who's going to push the pile, get first downs, move the chains for you, and you need that. You need somebody to understand that, hey, we can't block everybody. You're going to have to run over somebody. And this is a tough lead, and I tell those guys all the time, you have to run tough when it's tough to run. And they understand that, but Sutton is electric, obviously when he gets in space, different things like that. And surprisingly, he's really good in protection. He knows exactly what's going on. He's not scared to stick his face in there.
You and I were talking before the show. We know Sutton Smith's got speed, nearly got up to 22 miles an hour last year. What you would like to see is Braylon not get caught from behind. Does that additional weight that he put up, he looks a lot different than he did freshman year. I mean, he was a bruiser. I remember the Tennessee game, him running over people. Should have had a touchdown, a long one against Mississippi State, got caught. Does that additional weight that he's got off of him help him break some of those longer runs like we're anticipating Sutton having this fall?
What I want to see is Sutton Smith's hands. Those 2, 3, 4 plays a game, maybe he catches the bubble screen, and do you have the wide receivers to set up the blocking? And then if he can find a crease with that speed, get some chunk plays. Safe throws behind the line of scrimmage. I want to see his hands and then, his vision of the field, because if you have the wide receivers that can pick up the blocks, he's the kind of guy that can really, move the chains for you in that regard.
Yeah, Cramsey and Stewart, quarterbacks coach and OC, were talking about getting the ball out of whether it's KJ or AJ. It's got to be KJ's hands early as possible. Those short intermediate throws, whether it's to running back, slant routes, you'd like to see as quick of those as possible. And Sutton's a guy that they've talked about in the kick return game, the punt return game, and out of the backfield as well. So hopefully they can utilize him as much as possible. Did see Cowles at practice earlier this week. I think it was yesterday.
Yep.
So he was obviously the Memphis connection. We played that clip at the jump of Ryan SIlverfield on Jim Rome. Rome and Cal are friends. I would guess that might have had something a little to do with him going on the show yesterday. But that Memphis connection they both touched on that.
Well, and I think there's a support of head coaches amongst that group. They talk about their monthly head coaches meetings that they all come together in the same room. And, I think they, do a good job of supporting each other. We hear about text messages back and forth and some things that come up just in press conferences. So, there's when you're on the practice field, you can see Bud Walton Arena. It's not, John Calipari could walk over from his office to the practice field, and it's maybe a 5-minute walk over there.
You think he's walking or go-karting or driving?
I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. A cup of coffee in hand. It's their morning practices. Get a little stroll. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
All right, last thing here, Hog Update. Diamond Classic, softball and baseball is going to happen in September and October. You've got teams like Tulsa, Little Rock, Oklahoma State, Dallas Baptist, UCA. You got red-white scrimmages, home run derbies. And this is going to be featured within softball and baseball in the months of September or October. You've got tickets differing from baseball and softball. You can buy season tickets. You can buy the allotment for all of the games as well if you choose to do that.
All right, so good to see some organization with fundraising. Yeah, it's not free anymore, but you know where the money's going. I don't know how much you're going to pay these other teams to come in here and play some of these exhibition games, but good to see that. Hey, when the workday is done, that's when the good stuff begins, whether it's fishing, off-roading, or just enjoying the great outdoors. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas can help make it happen. Visit myaglender.com or drop by any one of Farm Credit of Western Arkansas's 25 locations today and start making the most of your time off.
All right, we got our Morning Rush Daily Question coming up in just a bit. Going to hear more from Ryan SIlverfield as well. We were talking to him at the start of the show, just the expectation. When do you expect him to start winning? Would love to see 4 or 5 wins in year 1, year 2, at least bowl eligibility, and maybe you can crack 8 or 9 in year 3. Don't know how it's going to pan out right now. Do know they have 2 weeks away, basically, from this first game against North Alabama. Go to Utah and really see what type of football team you are then. All right, so we got that coming up. Got a few other things we'll get into as well. We keep it rolling here on a Tuesday or Thursday. Stay with us on the Morning Rush.
Arkansas's home for the best sports talk.
Hey, guys, enjoy your show. Out of all the sports programs in the state, I really enjoy y'all's both.
You're listening to the Morning Rush.
Hey, Fort Smith. Have you seen the all-new Bass Pro Shop outpost on Bass Pro Drive off Rogers Avenue? Step inside and check out the Pradco store within a store, where you can create something truly one of a kind. Pick from iconic lure shapes like the Booyah One Knocker or the Bandit 100, to name only a few. And have it custom autographed just the way you want it. It's fun, it's personal, and it's only at the brand new Bass Pro Outpost. Swing by today and make your own custom lure.
Attention skilled craftsmen, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is hiring only the best that the natural state has to offer. If you're ready for your next big opportunity to have steady work and better pay, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is ready to talk to you. Bath Makeover is looking for plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers to help us keep up with high demand. Bath Makeover is growing our commercial division as well, with the ability to now install over 100 bathrooms a month. Bath Makeover can knock out multi-unit projects quickly. Easily 10 bathrooms at a time in a single week at hotels, apartments, and government housing all across Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for only experienced and qualified skilled craftsmen to join our talented team. To learn more about the job opportunities at Bath Makeover of Arkansas, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com. Plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com.
Bobby P, wanted him to hold us to a standard and keep going. So we're going to keep doing that.
This is the Morning Rush.
Save up to $4,000 on in-stock 2026 Buick Concord GXs.
I'm Tim Shepard. I'm running for Washington County Judge. People come to Washington County for a reason: to raise a family, build a future, and enjoy the beauty of a place we call home. No matter how long you've lived here, we all want the same things: safe communities, responsible growth, and leaders who get things done. I'm Tim Shepard, and I'll work every day to keep Washington County the best place to live, work, raise a family, and call home. I'd appreciate your vote November 3rd.
Paid for by the committee to elect Tim Shepard, Washington County Judge.
I'm Wendy Howerton, and I'm running for Circuit Judge here in Washington-Madison County. I've been practicing here for 20 years, representing people just like you, and everyday matters.
It's going to be justice for all. Everyone there is going to have a voice, and all those people who don't have a voice, they're going to have one in my courts. And I'm going to apply the law evenly, impartially, like it should be.
I'm here to protect all your constitutional rights, because they've never been more important than they are now.
Paid for by the Howerton campaign.
Craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Hog fans, your 5-time SEC champion Razorback soccer team is back in action on Thursday night at 6:30 when they take on number 8 North Carolina. It's a whiteout, and the first 500 fans will receive an Arkansas soccer hat. Come support Coach Hale and the Hogs at Razorback Field. Tickets are just $16 for adults and $11 for kids. Head to ArkansasRazorbacks.com or call 479-575-5151 to secure your tickets today.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
Wes, how many people can a large pizza feed?
About 4.
So I should tell Cousin Jeff 1.
Oh, wow. He's a big eater.
The biggest. He once got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat diner because they ran out of food. How many can a small pizza feed?
I'd say 2.
Our small pizza at $15 is a meal for 2? We should advertise this. That goat'll hunt.
Dog.
What you call me?
That dog will hunt.
Wes, dogs are man's best friend. Goats are the true hunters.
Goats?
Billy Goat Jr.'s Grammy was trained to chase squirrels, cats, birds, and rabbits. We could hear her for miles through the brush. And she'd circle them right to us.
You're not serious.
As serious as a meal for 2 for $15.
You're an interesting cat.
What you call me?
A meal for 2 for $15. Eat Jim's RazorbackPizza.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
All right, I know we need a serious sports question because we talked about potatoes yesterday and got to the bottom of tater tots and french fries, but it's National Bacon Day. Saw that right? I mean, it's like the first thing I zeroed in on the notes for today. So here's the age-old question. We're going to be at Hardee's tomorrow. Bacon, crispy or floppy? That's the Morning Rush Daily Question.
Does anyone say floppy?
Well, there's people that don't like it crispy.
You like it limp?
Floppy's the word I would use.
Not limp? Okay, yeah, crispy.
Kind of a mix between both. Like I don't know how to what's the word for both? Like a
best way to cook bacon is in the oven.
Cody says floppy, you're right.
Yeah. To me, it's like medium rare. I want my bacon,
like rubbery.
It doesn't have
durable.
to be, I don't want crunchy. I don't want it to fall apart, but there is a perfect doneness, if you will.
Matt
to bacon
says definitely floppy. Jeff says, I love floppy bacon.
No.
Ryan says he wants it in between, kind of like you're advocating. Jeremy says crispy.
Do you not have a strong opinion on this?
No, I did. Crispy.
Crispy. All right.
Yeah, that's what was making fun of the floppy.
I am not a microwave. I don't think you should cook bacon in the microwave. It either needs to be done in a skillet or in the oven.
Nate says only limp bacon is acceptable cooked in beans.
I agree on that.
Air fryer bacon is the best.
Not done that, but I'm not opposed to it. Same thing as an oven.
I've never tried that.
Have you had ever had like a spicy bacon kind of like I don't know?
Yeah,
like a
peppered bacon.
Yeah,
Petty Jean makes a peppered bacon
or something like that.
So what's your favorite thing to add bacon to? I mean, just a plate of bacon's pretty good.
Burgers are good. Bacon on a burger is pretty good.
Bacon cheese fries.
All right. Well, that's your Morning Rush Daily Question. That didn't go as far as I thought it would. It's brought to you by Cart
Well,
Path
I
Social.
mean, we're still getting texted.
We're getting a lot of texting in. Yeah.
Where do you want it to go?
I don't know. It's Bacon Day. How do you not talk about bacon on national? There wasn't really it's National Radio Day as well. I couldn't think of a great question to ask about radio, and I really didn't want to talk anymore about Braylon Russell and Sutton Smith. It's Bacon Day. We want to talk about bacon. So
Nate Benville, there's nothing bad that you can add bacon to. Jesse
bacon
says
makes everything better. It's like butter.
Always crispy.
Yeah.
Always crispy. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. A couple food ones the last 2 days. Cart Pass Social, #1 place for indoor golf in all of Arkansas, 122 Grant Place in Lowell. Whether you're hosting a corporate event, a get-together of any sort, family, friends, coworkers, doesn't matter. They can do it. CartPassSocial.com, Nate, Christian, they have people that have taken advantage of the summer membership, unlimited golf. This is $200 a month. It's 68 degrees inside of there. I know people enjoy that rather than going out and playing when it's 100-plus degrees outside. Again, CartPassSocial.com. Always, always, always BYOB at Cart Pass Social.
Bacon is a margarita. Can't beat it. That's what Spank and Gentry says. Rub some bacon on it. Bacon doesn't make the golf swing better, Tommy. That might be true there, Aaron. But if you told me you can have a 12-ounce filet or a pound of bacon, that's not as easy a decision as you might think.
You sure it is. You take the pound of bacon.
Yeah, okay.
That's an easy.
You may actually be right on that.
Easy decision on that part.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any discussion, to be honest, whatsoever. Did you see? All right, so you've got these different rivalries across college football that are spectacular. We're all anticipating week 3 between LSU and Ole Miss. Obviously, the ones here, you think about the final 2 games of the season, at Texas versus LSU when the Bengals come to town. Then you've got the different ones outside of the SEC and within the SEC. Well, apparently the Iron Bowl, the Alex Golesh during scrimmages has been blaring Dixieland Delight. So do we need to start playing this throughout scrimmages? Or the Eyes of Texas? Would you be in favor of that?
Well,
Playing the opposing team's either fight song or this song, which more making fun of them, of course. But do you like the idea of really, really focusing on one game when it comes to, because a lot of schools do this.
I think with where the Texas game is located in the schedule, you got a lot of other battles you need to win. You're not in a position as a program to really focus on anything other than North Alabama right now.
Mm-hmm.
There are no layups when you went 2-10. I know this roster, as it's put together, didn't go 2-10. But what resonates with your team? That's what a coach has to understand. What's going to push the button with this team? Where you got to listen to your kids, understand them, try to get to know what motivates you. That's the hard part of being a leader in any organization is, hey, what's going to motivate this group? So I don't know, playing the fight song. We like to think everybody came here to play for our school and hate the other one. It's just not that way anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't think it matters what fight songs you play or don't play at a practice.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Big C?
Man, I tell you what, it's hard. Here in Arkansas, who sings the Arkansas song?
Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, that's not a bad one. I mean, it's kind of overplayed at this point, but there's really not a lot to choose from. The fight song is.
Well, I'm talking about the idea of playing a rival's fight song. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, we did Rocky Top when we beat them. When we beat
after
Tennessee.
games, yeah, they've done that before. That is enjoyable. That is one of my favorite parts inside of Razorback Stadium is following a win. You mock the other team with their fight song, like you mentioned Rocky Top, and we've done some other stuff. I think the Arkansas band last time, was the last time we beat LSU at home. Last time we beat them was in 21. They played Neck one year after Arkansas took them down. I do like when they mock the opposing team and fan base a little bit.
I would like to mock
but it's been a while
Alabama fight song for once. What do they say? We just beat I would like to do that back to
Rammer Jammer.
Yeah.
It would help if you were a little more consistent and being able to back it up.
Yes.
So
no, that would be.
I just can't get too far with the conversation about how we're going to mock an opponent.
No,
with the way things have went around here lately. So.
I did see. Speaking of rivalry games, Alabama and LSU are both going to wear their home jerseys in the third Saturday of October, which Arkansas plays, I believe, Tennessee. No, not Tennessee. Excuse me, Vanderbilt. I knew it was in Tennessee. They play Vanderbilt that same day. Don't you get a penalty unless, I guess,
Both
maybe
teams can agree to it.
They can agree to it.
So tell me again, they're both wearing
their home uniforms. So Bama will be in red and Tennessee will be in orange. Because it's weird.
They're two contrasting colors. So
it's
generally, I believe the rule as it's written says that the home team shall wear the darker color.
Yeah, you get that. But in basketball, it's flipped.
It's white.
Why
home
is that?
team
Help
wears
me
white.
understand that, ref. Why is that?
Well, part of it is game administration. Part of it, I think, is TV. But I can tell you as an official, just knowing that in the back here, the home team's wearing the light color. When that happens, when they don't do that and they don't follow the rule, it does kind of mess you up a little bit because you're used to, all right, home team's going opposite their bench in first half. There's some subtleties in that you just get used to as an official, but I think as a fan as well. When I turn a game on, I'm passing through the channels, and I look at the screen. I know that the home, oh, they're playing so-and-so. Well, the home team, if it's Iowa State, well, they're the team in white.
And
I just think you want people to be able to identify.
That makes sense.
When they come by your game on TV, hey, the home, because the graphics don't always tell you, So I think there's several reasons for it, and I think the ultimate reason no one talks about, and in college it's not a big deal. You don't want teams to show up in the same color, so you got to designate one because you can't have two teams in the same color.
All right, so mention that third Saturday in October. Arkansas, their bye week falls on October 24th. Yesterday, we brought up the idea and I say the idea, what college football is moving to. Week 0, starting next year. So you'll have the 2 bye set up for next season and beyond, or at least 5. I think it's a 5-year deal is what they have it set up as. So on October 24th, when the Razorbacks are not playing, let's say you could snap your fingers and go to any SEC game. I'm going to rattle them off, okay? Alabama hosting A&M.
Okay.
Auburn hosting LSU. Kentucky hosting Vanderbilt. Mississippi State hosting Oklahoma. Tennessee going to South Carolina. You've got your choice. I'm on that Bama Texas A&M game.
I didn't hear anything that beat that one.
I know that game in College Station years ago was a lot of fun. Johnny Manziel went to Tuscaloosa, but Marcel Reed and against that Alabama best secondary in the SEC, maybe in college football, that would be the game I would go to.
No, I didn't. You kept going through. That was I think the first one you mentioned. I didn't hear anything that topped that one. So, and 2 fan bases I don't really care a lot about. So I would like to root for an earthquake.
It was so.
How do I root for a flood?
I'll tell you what. Last year sucked when they beat A&M. I mean, they beat us every year with the exception of 21 since 2012. But that fan base, I will give them credit. They're nuts. They're over eccentric and they're just weird. But I would argue they travel better than any SEC fan base in the league. I have seen more Texas A&M fans, whether it's in Fayetteville. And I know there were a lot of Texas fans here a couple years ago, and there will be as that game continues to be here in Fayetteville. But A&M travels better than any SEC fan base in this league.
Okay. I've never thought about it, but, when you've got that many alumni, and, man, A&M alumni, they are weird, but they are loyal. And they always believe they're going to win. So you may be right. But I've seen a lot of LSU fans, particularly in baseball, they travel well, but that's not your point here this morning. So, hey, be sure to get by Joe's Grill and Cantina today. It's a great day to stop in for something cold to drink during happy hour. Try some of their house-made, fresh, made-from-scratch salsa today. They do crispy chips and great salsa every day. They've got the new hot and the new verde salsas that they do. They'll bring you all 3. I like mixing the original and the hot together. I think it's just the absolute perfect flavor. So, and whether you're in the mood for something a little bit lighter, they got a great taco salad. If you're wanting enchiladas or a burrito or their great tacos, there's something on the menu to satisfy you. My new favorite has become the steak, mushroom, and spinach enchiladas. They are fantastic. You get that with just cheese, fajita steak, or fajita chicken, but I think the fajita steak inside those enchiladas are good. And Wade has told me, try it as a quesadilla. He said it is fantastic there as well. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Won't be long till we're watching games together there. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps in Fort Smith.
We're going to talk to Tom Murphy in just a bit coming up. He's been at practice. Apparently wasn't the best of practices yesterday, so we'll get his thoughts on that. Ryan SIlverfield, just some more thoughts on what he's been talking about. Went on Jim Rome yesterday. Mentioned Cal being at practice there, and this this Lenore Sellers thing. We'll come back to it. His final year of school, final semester, he has got an internship at a driving range.
Hey, don't forget tomorrow, join us on the road. We're going to be live at Hardee's in Fort Smith, $1.49 sausage biscuits tomorrow morning. Guys, Saturday we give away the football trip of a lifetime, but the morning rush on the road tomorrow. All Fort Smith and Salisaw locations have $1.49 sausage biscuits at Hardee's.
Hour 2 coming up next.
Hey, Fort Smith. Have you seen the all-new Bass Pro Shop outpost on Bass Pro Drive off Rogers Avenue? Step inside and check out the Pradco store within a store, where you can create something truly one of a kind. Pick from iconic lure shapes like the Booyah One Knocker or the Bandit 100, to name only a few. And have it custom autographed just the way you want it. It's fun, it's personal, and it's only at the brand new Bass Pro Outpost. Swing by today and make your own custom lure.
Attention skilled craftsmen, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is hiring only the best that the natural state has to offer. If you're ready for your next big opportunity to have steady work and better pay, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is ready to talk to you. Bath Makeover is looking for plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers to help us keep up with high demand. Bath Makeover is growing our commercial division as well, with the ability to now install over 100 bathrooms a month. Bath Makeover can knock out multi-unit projects quickly, easily 10 bathrooms at a time in a single week at hotels, apartments, and government housing all across Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for only experienced and qualified skilled craftsmen to join our talented team. To learn more about the job opportunities at Bath Makeover of Arkansas, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com. Plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
This is the Morning Rush.
Remember 2016? You had nowhere to be and no worries. It was pure joy. Now, Taco Bell's bringing back the joy of 2016 with 4 favorites. The Naked Chicken Chalupa with all white meat chicken, the Beefy Crunch Burrito, the Mexi Melt, and the Caramel Apple Empanada, all just like you remember. Relive 2016 now at Taco Bell. Limited time at participating stores while supplies last. Prices vary. Tax extra.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and make the switch to any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles and get state sales tax paid when you trade. Our road-ready certified vehicles are inspected, reconditioned, and backed by comprehensive warranty. Combine that with our non-commissioned sales team and the nation's best lenders on standby, and you've got an award-winning, hassle-free way to get your next ride. Make the switch to road-ready certified and get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Fort Smith, the wait is over. Join us for the official grand opening of Eastside Liquor this Friday, August 21st and Saturday, August 22nd. We're celebrating all weekend long with exclusive store-wide specials on your favorite craft beers, fine wines, and premium spirits. Don't miss out on the big prize drawing. Eastside Liquor has the ultimate selection and friendly service to match. Come raise a glass at 9410 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. That's Eastside Liquor, Friday and Saturday, August 21st and 22nd. Must be 21 or older. Drink responsibly.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we should see ample sunshine with a chance of scattered showers, a few thunderstorms, especially across the north. Our high temperatures today will be in the mid to upper 90s. We will start to dry things out a little later on tonight. Overnight low into the low 70s. Sunny skies mid to upper 90s on Friday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Colorworks. Whether it's the weather or just life, call Andy at Colorworks Paint and Body for all your auto body repairs. Big or small, old or new, they are the choice for auto body repair.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 16 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light.
Can't drink all day unless you start early.
Celebrate America's 250th anniversary with an ice-cold Bud Light.
The winning right now has got to be the mindset. There's no holds barred the way we practice, the way we prepare. Obviously, you don't sit there and say, hey, we are, right? People say, are you building a program? There's parts of that, right? No one wants to talk about a rebuild, but we are doing this thing day by day to put us in better position for long-term success. But the idea is to go out there and line up and win.
Everything's not always about winning and losing. I'm a winner. I'm going to win.
Live from the Bud Light Studios. Produced by Christian Johnston.
With Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. This is The Morning Rush.
He's an absolute stud. Obviously, my time in Memphis, got to hear all the stories about him prior to us getting there. And then when I got here, my very first stop, right when I landed, before I even met the team, was going by and see Cal at practice. And share a lot of mutual friends from our time in the state of Tennessee, but just the opportunity to connect. He's a Hall of Fame coach, and I can learn from him just as a coach and as a leader. What we talked about fundraising, what it looks like. It's been fun because here, right, we're arm in arm. We're there to support each other. He comes out to practice. He spoke to our team. He's invited me around. We spent a lot of time together, and I think that's huge. We live in the same neighborhood, and that's been a fun bond, and I think we can learn from each other. Obviously, he is the absolute best at that. I told him, I said, obviously I wanted to coach for a long time, but what he's done, he's going to run our NIL team for us here.
It's Ryan SIlverfield on Jim Rome yesterday talking about his relationship with John Calipari. The Memphis connection obviously stands out. Mentioned early on that he met with him and had a chance to have conversations, and it helps, as he said, to be in the same neighborhood too.
Yeah, so I don't know if they get together for a glass of wine or a cold cocktail in the evenings on occasion. They're both very busy. The thing I gleaned out of that whole statement there, what stood out to you about everything Ryan SIlverfield said there? What jumped out?
You're going to have to point it out.
The NIL thing?
Bingo.
Asking Cal.
Cal's going to run the NIL team here. Only makes sense, right? So, I mean, as far as kind of the overarching helping the athletic department, who else would you rather have kind of be the chair of the committee, if you will, than John Calipari? I thought that was an interesting thing to glean from that.
One of the things, so when Cal, I remember this, when Cal first got hired, they talked about like discussing things with Walmart, and I don't know how much has transpired and happened since then. SIlverfield talked about that same thing at SEC Media Days with an ESPN writer whose name I'm blanking on. It might have been Pete Thamel. And I just wonder, is that ever going to happen? And I know there's donations. I know Walmart is a supporter, but a Walton individual, I should say. I should clarify that because both of them have they realize the importance of it.
Has anyone asked? We assume that's happened. But what's the most important thing in sales, Ty?
Ask.
Ask.
Yep.
Ask for the meeting. Ask for the business. It's the biggest 3-letter word to get what you want. You got to ask somebody. We all just assume someone's went up to somebody named Walton and asked.
You want me to go find Mrs. Alice? And
yes,
hey, Mrs. Alice, I know
yes,
you. I know if you you contributed millions upon millions of dollars
If
to,
anyone
to
can
bike
do it, it's you.
trails and
Yes.
crystal bridges and all these other fantastic things that have happened in Northwest Arkansas. But while you're at it, a great football program is an amenity to this state, an amenity to you because it brings more people that want to work at Walmart. Because
you've already lost her there. You know,
Yeah.
you got to tighten up that first 10 seconds to get the next 10
what
seconds.
would be your pitch then?
Give me your wallet.
The people of this state need
Hold
it.
them up. Stick them up. Give me your wallet.
What would Sam do? Like,
Hey, Tom Murphy here in just a second. I want to tell you about Uncorked. It's a great place to go. Love the afternoons. Great way to kind of kick off the evening, start happy hour, whatever is always at Uncorked, one of my favorite places. But did you think about brunch on Saturday? I don't know about you. I like a little bit of a lazy start sometimes to a weekend. Saturday mornings are great for that. They have brunch from 10 to 2. All ages are welcome, so you can bring the kids. You can bring the whole family. You can, meet up with the guys. The gals can meet up with the gals. It's just a great place to start the weekend off. They got a great brunch menu. Now, coming up tomorrow night, Jimmy Atkinson is going to be there, and you can get your reservations 6 to 9 for some live music tomorrow night. So join your friends, join your family for their seasonal summer menu and some great live music with Jimmy tomorrow night at Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. Make your reservations online, uncorkthefort.com, and we'll see you at Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's in Fort Smith.
Nah, my health is good. I'm just dealing with some little soreness, just being smart, but everything good for sure. God got me, so yeah.
Let's bring in Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, that was Sutton Smith, who was with the media yesterday talking about his health. I know I was a little worried when Ryan SIlverfield initially talked about him being held out, but it said he's good to go for game time. If he needed to play, he'd be good to go. And I'm paraphrasing, but get a chance to listen to both those guys yesterday. In addition to Coach Johnson, what'd you take away, Tom?
Well, those two seem to be pretty tight. Sutton Smith is just going to be a really good ambassador and spokesman, and you understand why they brought him to media days in Tampa. So good for him. I'm glad. If you're at practice, you could kind of see he was going to be, quote, okay, and just something maybe, what do they call it, soft muscle stuff or soft tissue
Soft
stuff.
tissue, yeah.
Soft tissue he's going through, and also you want him to be so right for the season.
Mm-hmm.
And him and Russell are, to me, a big 1-2 punch for them.
Yeah. We were talking earlier, and, me and you watched some practice together the other day. You've been there every day. I just wonder with his speed and the burst he can provide, the explosiveness, man, if you can get your wide receivers to set up some blocking and some screens, him catching bubbles and getting you first downs off the edge, I would think that him catching the ball out of the backfield on some of those screens out to the flat should be a part of this offense.
Oh, there's no question. You could just tell in the amount that we watch that targeting the running backs on swing passes and tunnels and all those types of things, and the receivers out there, quick passes are going to be a big part of what they do. I don't know if you guys saw it yesterday, but you know how it is when there's stuff out there on social media. I saw a clip that in week 3 of last season, Sutton was deemed to have the fastest time that week in college football. I think it was a 21.9 miles per hour run. It was against Troy, and I remember watching some of that game at the hotel or wherever we were about to go to the Ole Miss game that day. And so, keeping a good eye on what Memphis looked like that day. And obviously he had a big game the next week against the Razorbacks, and now he's here, and that's a good thing. The question was, he had around 10 touches per game roughly at Memphis. Can they bump that up to 12, 15? And I think the answer, as long as he stays healthy, could be yes.
Now, I've got a golf cart that runs a little faster than some others, but the top speed on it's around 21 miles an hour. So essentially he could run even or outrun my golf cart at top speed. So you think about that, and that's moving pretty good right there.
It is, and I know there's been some 22s, and somebody the other day mentioned that somebody ran a 23 MPH, and I just don't know I can't remember who it was about, but I can't remember who said that, but somebody mentioned that somebody had a 23 mile per hour the other day, and I think it was Miguel Mitchell they were talking about. And so, yeah, I don't know the accuracy maybe of those vests they wear, the catapults and what have you, but yeah, that's moving pretty good.
I think
and it was a play up the middle.
Yeah. I think they're pretty accurate because they use GPS and a bunch of other stuff. So that's moving though. I mean, how fast will a treadmill go? What's the top end speed? If you ran the treadmill all the way to the top, would it even do that?
I think it's like 15.
I don't know.
For safety.
I've never wanted to find out.
I've not seen that, but I've seen a lot of comedy clips with people trying to go on the fastest or just start out on the fastest, and of course they get taken down and fall off the back of it. So those are usually funny.
Tom, give us a sense what happened yesterday. I got several texts last night. I wasn't there. You were. I think in your piece in Whole Hog you titled it "Sloppy Practice." What went wrong yesterday?
Well, we saw 10 plays of team, and the first one was a bad snap. The offense, I'm sure KJ would have landed on it, but it's a negative play. When you're down there in not to the red zone, but I think they were on the 37, 36, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was, AJ has a potential touchdown, and he's running around the right edge. A defender's coming up, and so it's one of those where if he can make one guy miss or run through, he might score. Of course, he's also trying to get out of bounds because it's low clock. But he faked the pass, and then when he tried to resecure the ball, it came out, and it went out of bounds. So, that's a maybe potential touchdown. The clock stops. It didn't kill the drive, but it's just ball security thing. And then Hank Hendricks throws a pick on the lone play, I believe, for the threes. And that was a 10-play segment and 3 times where the ball was up in the air. And then today they did some I think it was starting in the red zone today. The defense again won everything, and KJ threw an interception today, and we were all debating, was it his first that we've seen in team periods. Tay Lockett made a great play on a deep ball down the middle, and so he had a one-play sequence. I cannot remember the starting field position, maybe the 26 or something like that, and Lockett just made a great play trying to hit CeCe deep, and so the defense, to me, clearly in what we've seen, has won the last couple of days.
Red zone. I know Tommy wasn't too enthused with what he saw. My brother was asking me about it last night. Has that been a common theme, Tom, them having difficulties scoring the football, or is it maybe just a one-off yesterday?
No, it's been what we've seen in the open periods. The accuracy on the touch passes into the corners against the air was not great. I mentioned that on here with you guys maybe last week. So it's something you can tell they're really repping. They're repping it in front of us. I'm sure they rep it some when it is closed to the media, but it's such a valuable area where you need to get 7 instead of 3 as much as you can. And they have not scored at the success rate in the times we've been viewing at the rate, the percentage you would want.
Yeah. Tom, you mentioned the quarterbacks and the sloppiness with the football, just a few minutes ago, but any more to lead you to believe there's some separation between KJ and AJ, or are we still in the same holding pattern?
It's about what today's interception from KJ, as I mentioned, might have been the first that we've seen. But I would say that he was ahead to begin with. And then AJ Hill, he had passes where he's trying to throw it deep into the corner, and he gives his receiver no chance. I mean, he's 5 yards out of bounds. And I understand sometimes that's better if you need a field goal to win or whatever. It's better than to risk the ball. But sometimes if you trust your receiver, you got to give them a chance. And if it's 5 yards out of bounds, they don't have a chance.
Yeah. Any differences structurally in the practice, what you've been able to see now that we've moved to mornings versus the afternoon heat? Are they maybe mixing it up, not working in the heat and doing some things maybe to a different level? Any noticeable difference in the practice structure with mornings versus afternoons?
Not really. They've tightened down the viewing window. There were times where we'd see 8 periods, or even I know there was one where it was 10 or even 12. So there was one practice we saw almost half of it, and that's tightened down. I think it was 7 or 8 today. So maybe they're getting into the meat of more team things they don't want us to see in periods 8, 9, 10 through that zone. Not really sure if they are or they're not. But no, I wouldn't say. I mean, I would say that we charted, I'm not sure how many team plays yesterday, and today it was 20 or 21. There was a false start, so that would have been the 21st play, which that's a pretty decent number for the amount of time we're in there.
Yeah, and I know they got the scrimmage coming up again this weekend on Saturday, last scheduled scrimmage or scrimmage periods each day. But at what point do you think they start truly putting in a game plan and really zeroing in on game one in North Alabama?
I would say the week right after that. And not only that, but, the first 3 games, they will start working things that they will use in the Utah game. They will start working things that they want to show against North Alabama and keep hidden for week 2 and week 3 against Georgia. And it wouldn't surprise me if there's a period or 2 devoted this week or late this week, and certainly next week, to what the game plan, like honing in on the plays you want to run against what you feel is coming from those opponents.
Talking with Tom Murphy, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tom, stepping outside of what we're talking about with Razorback football, the new temporary restraining order that's allowing guys in 22 to come back. This Jack Pyburn kid that was on the Buccaneers in preseason and is now coming back to LSU. What are your thoughts on this decision and how it could affect SEC teams, particularly this upcoming season, like it has with Arkansas already?
Yeah, completely frustrated by it all, because you have to agree to some kind of free agent deal to be in their camp. I mean, you're getting paid. And so it goes against the spirit of everything. But these attorneys, they know that some state courts will rule in their favor. I don't know if this was a federal. When I first saw it yesterday, I thought it was a joke. And then I quickly realized it was not a joke, and there are other guys, I think, who are in NFL camps. And so it just makes you want to pull your hair out because the congressional action did not pass. And I really don't know if it was the real solution, the right solution or not. But there just seems to be no reins on what is eligibility. And it's super frustrating. How much he'll factor in this late. It's just like Wooden. He missed, the 10 practices, and then he has to scale up to full pads.
Yeah.
So he's going to get very little work in with these schemes. I mean, maybe they realized early that, he might have a chance and gave him schemes. I'm not sure if you can do that or not, but just catching up from the playbook standpoint would be difficult. So I just don't know how much those guys will factor in or not, but it's really frustrating.
Tom, just to go off that, it's kind of an acclimation period of sorts, not just to get reacquainted with your old defensive coordinator, coaches, and everything else, but that period you're talking about, I can't remember, is it 2 weeks? Is it like, how long is it before he can full go out there at practice? Talking about Caleb Wooden.
Right. Well, he'll scale up from like spider pads and whatever to then he can put, full pad or shoulder pads on, but not have live contact. I want to say, was it practice 5 or practice 6 where they could do live hitting? And so he's not to that stage yet. I believe this was 3 for him today. In camp things just they run together. And so I would assume that maybe in 2 days he could do, or 3 days, live hitting. But yeah, you have to ramp up.
All right, Tom, we'll leave it there, man. Good stuff as always, and we'll chat next Tuesday.
All right, guys. See you.
All right, Tom Murphy's already been to practice this morning. Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Glad to have him here on this Thursday morning. Hey, when you choose a pool, you're choosing how your family will spend their time together. That's why families have chosen Burton Pools and Spas since 1978. They've grown from a truck in a garage to 5 locations and more than 30 service trucks. building over 12,000 pools for families around Arkansas. And now they've grown to 5 different locations, and they'll be there for you with not just the installation, but the maintenance, the service needs, and the water care that you're needing as well. Burton Pools and Spas, Fort Smith, Greenland, Springdale, Hot Springs, and in Joplin, online at burtonpools.com. Water for a better life. Tom and all of our guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. You got some thoughts or questions, you can call or text those. 877-377-6963 on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline.
You want to do the exercise of maxing out the treadmill at some point now that you can see? You want to see how high it actually gets?
I mean, obviously, I'm not going to go very far on the top end. I do see those videos Tom's talking about where sprinters work on those, and they'll jump on there at 15 or 20 miles an hour. I mean, I don't know what the fastest I could run. Probably in my best days, 12, 13 would be as fast as I could sprint for a short amount of time.
What about you, Big C? What
20,
do you get up to?
21, never.
I was a lot faster in my younger days, but I've had some injuries that have taken my speed down a little
Derailed
bit.
you a little bit.
Yeah,
We've all added weight, unfortunately.
Weight, toe.
My want-to's broken. I strained my want-to ligament.
Your want-to ligament.
And my want-to ligament's never really healed right. I don't really want to run 20 miles in an hour.
Don't blame you.
Nah, my want-to ligament is strained and not going to heal.
Yeah,
anytime soon.
Don't blame you. That's it's a different level of one. Right out of college, I wanted to try and bust 25 minutes in a 5K. I wanted to get really in shape, and I still want to stay in somewhat shape, but not to the same level of when I was in. Really wasn't even in school, but like right after school, I would say I was in peak physical condition outside of maybe first part of high school. But yeah, I understand that. That desire goes down exponentially as you get older and older, and you're past the half-century mark. So
thanks for reminding me again.
I'm just happy to do so.
Well, at some point your life fills up with other things, so that's an excuse, probably more than a reason. But that's the one I'm going. I did go out and walk my 2.5 miles this morning, so I did get that in. So,
did you do anything else?
Nope, didn't have time. Had to get to work.
There you go.
Yeah, had to get to work. So, Bet Saracen app, you got that ready to go? You good for football season? You been playing any of these preseason games?
I'm going to bet on Arkansas on the under
against North Alabama
at 4.5.
Yeah, I'm going to make some money. Or be really happy.
Ty hates the Razorbacks.
I'm going to be really happy, or I'm going to make some money.
Well, how much are you going to bet?
Probably $100.
All right. Bet Saracen app's got all those preseason things, plus the NFL preseason's here, Major League Baseball, and more. So if you want to bet this football season, do it with the Bet Saracen app, Arkansas's only local sports betting app.
I'll get some SEC update stuff to get into when we come back. We were talking about Lenore Sellers earlier. Just has an internship in his final semester at a local driving range. We'll touch on that. Congrats to Quincy Rhodes, who once again is recognized on an all-SEC team. Plus, we'll get some more thoughts on this temporary restraining order and the impact within the Southeastern Conference. Keep it here on the Morning Rush.
It's the summer event takeover at Lewis Automotive with sizzling deals and endless adventures. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years and home of the Lewis Guarantee.
New drink is it's grapefruit tequila, because tequila is the healthier drinks, and I'm trying to get back in shape.
This is the Morning Rush.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
We've got big news from Roback. This entire week, Roback is launching its brand new collegiate collection, just in time for the fall season. And if you're an Arkansas fan, you're in luck. The Arkansas collection officially dropped, and there's plenty of inventory available. So whether you're headed to the stadium, watching from home, or just looking to upgrade your game day gear, now's the time to check out Roback's new Arkansas collegiate collection. Use the code RUSH26 for 20% off your first order. Roback, where action meets comfort.
David Bowie got more fame with his #1 hit titled Fame. John Lennon co-wrote and sounded some of the high notes. The last line in the first verse sums it up. Fame puts you there where things are hollow. John 12:43 tells us that many people rejected Jesus because they love the fame of people more than the praise of God. Is it any wonder you get more fame by rejecting the name of Jesus? I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet. Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
Got one question for you. What are those?
It's cute. I wish I could get it.
And how much you pay for that taco?
Hey, yo, you know this. Boy, he's got his free taco.
Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Football is back, and whether you've been betting for years or you're just looking to put a little action on the games, MyBookie is where I'm playing this year. Find a play you like and take a shot. You can find the action you want and bet it wherever you are when the game kicks off. And if you're new to the club, the Bet Back bonus gives you protection on your first play. Sign up with my promo code HOGS. Opt into the Bet Back bonus and take your first shot with a safety net. If your first wager loses, you'll get it right back. Bet on anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Must opt in to use the Bet Back bonus.
In America, the tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about to be tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
But this afternoon is a day for the Razorbacks to celebrate. Arkansas wins the tournament.
Where opponents' dreams come to die. This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
All right, so we're talking a little bit earlier about Lenore Sellers.
Got a couple off-topic questions for you. With your degree, are you pretty close to finishing that up? Or?
Yeah, so I'm done with all my classes. I just got my internship this semester, so that's all I'm doing.
Okay, what is your internship here?
I'm doing party, just facility management, stuff like that, cutting grass, picking up balls, little stuff like that.
In West Columbia, the South Carolina quarterback, no classes in his final semester. Not a bad situation to be in. I did an internship my final semester, which counted towards college credit, which was great. A lot of football. He's going to be watching a lot of film and not much else when it comes to job-wise. And he's probably getting paid enough where he doesn't need a job to begin with.
I wonder if that's a paid internship or if he's just out there. Do you pay the university for internships? Do you got to pay for the 3 credit hours? How does that work? What stink that you had to pay to go work somewhere else? Yes. Of course, he's on scholarship. He's not worried about it. But for the commoners like us,
because you have to, and you're right on the scholarship aspect. You still have to submit. I think I had to do a 10-page paper over the course of the semester, and
so they make it just enough of a class to charge you something.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Tuition.
You have to buy a book. Is there a book you have to buy?
I don't remember a book. I saw some parents were showing all the fees. It's like, my kid didn't even do this. My kid doesn't utilize that. Why am I paying fees for it? And, you have you have your tuition costs, and then you have all these other things on top of that, and you're just like, Jamie, Christmas. They keep adding up, adding up. I tried my best to utilize everything on that campus.
Yeah.
Once I started to see how much it cost, because from tutoring, free tutoring stuff to everything, because you're paying for it. I say free. You're paying for
free?
it. What you're paying for.
Nothing that's free. Everybody, the word free is so misunderstood. You may not pay, but it's not free.
Yes.
So
what you're paying for. Quincy Rhodes named second team All-SEC by the coaches. The only Arkansas player on that list, had 44 tackles, 15.5 tackles for losses last season. Most since an Arkansas player since Trey Flowers 10-plus years ago. So good for Quincy. Not good that he's the only guy on the team, kind of like we talked about out of SEC Media Days. There's a reason you're picked 16th out of 16th. Outside of Quincy Rhodes, your overall team is not highly thought of, but individually for media, coaches, and so on, doesn't mean you can't prove them wrong, but you're not highly thought of right now.
Yeah, well, is that newsworthy? Does that mean that's not breaking? We're not breaking any news here. We don't need a sounder for that. No one's. I mean, obviously we know where you were picked at Media Days. So, what do you do to change it?
But people value the coaches more than they do the media.
I do. Yeah, but I mean,
and this is just kind of more evidence that hey, Arkansas's been scouted, and I know there's a lot of new players, but even the guys that return and the guys that they brought in, coaches don't think highly enough of anyone outside of Quincy Rhodes to put them on a third, second, or first team.
Well, that's there's nowhere to go but up. You don't like being in this position. Pick you last. Maybe it motivates this team. I'm clinging to the hope, clinging to the thread that, hey, this staff has found enough diamonds in the rough. They have found enough players that it's all going to come together and it's going to be better than we expect. That's the hope I'm clinging to at this point. You got 80 new players or whatever it is on this roster. Maybe they're a lot better than any of us think.
Mentioned Caleb Wooden being one of those additions coming back from 22, the temporary restraining order. Several other guys, including SEC players, are a part of that as well. Ask Tom his take. What is your take on that?
Hopefully this is the last time we have to go through that. How many more times can we extend eligibility? I don't have a problem with it. You don't want to disenfranchise somebody, but everybody feels like they've been disenfranchised. They've been put at some kind of disadvantage because they needed that other year to get a year of NIL. I wonder if any of these players that are actually using this opportunity are getting any money of significance. I bet the legal bills probably add up to more than what they're going to collect as players get to even have this chance.
That would be an interesting study, case by case, because for the likes of Trinidad Chambliss, it is well worth what he is making in Oxford, Mississippi. But for some of these kids, they're going back to less heralded schools. Like, how much was that actually worth going there and getting all that legalese nonsense?
But Trinidad Chambliss wasn't part of this deal.
Yeah, it was a different one.
A different
one.
I'm talking about these guys that got last-minute eligibility out of that 22 signing class that, join rosters late. Unless you are a stud, and most of those guys are probably making NFL rosters or close to it, I don't see how any of these guys are impactful in this season.
Let me ask you this. So Arch was listed as second as we close out our SEC update. He was, I think, in the top 3 last year at Media Days, and maybe even the coaches. Is he actually going to live up to expectations this year? Because he did it all last year. He turned it on against us, kind of like every other quarterback we played. But is he actually going to fulfill his obligation that is the last name on his jersey this year?
So is that to be the second best quarterback in the league? Because that's kind of the expectation.
That's what they've
Chambliss won, and either Stockton or Manning 2. That's kind of the consensus, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, he's got the best wide receiver group led by Wingo in the conference, maybe in the country. So if his line protects and the question is, can he throw it? That's what we still got. Can he accurately throw the mechanic of throwing the football? Can he do it? He's got the weapons around him to have a great year.
They got 2 all SEC, or at least studs also at running back. The Smothers kid, and I can't think of the other one. It is perfectly set up for him. Could not be more set up. Tailor-made, as you said, for him this upcoming season. He doesn't have it this year. If you're an NFL franchise, I mean, obviously you're falling in love with his last name. I don't know why you think he would project as a great franchise quarterback if he can't succeed in this setup this year. I realize their schedule's tough, but that's typical. I mean, they gotta beat Ohio State week 2 when Julian Saint and Jeremiah Smith come to town. Just curious to see if he lives up. As long as he doesn't light us up like he did last year, I'll be in a happier mood when it comes to that Texas game.
All right, that's the SEC update. It's brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group, your number one source for top-quality aggregates, asphalt, and ready-mix concrete. Whether you're working on a small residential project or a large-scale commercial job, APAC has you covered. No job's too big or too small. If you need expert advice, their construction consultant services ensure you're always on the right track. 479-587-3300 for all your rock, asphalt, and ready-mix needs. APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300.
All right, so apparently some of the team slept in the football facilities. They got air mattresses, sleep bags, and various things. Braylon Russell.
Slumber party.
Yeah, I got asked about it.
We got blow-up mattresses all throughout the locker room in there, just to have the brotherhood. Because when one person does it, it's like a trickle-down effect, really. That's how it really happens. And then you just start really learning your brothers and stuff like that. So staying the night with them, you get to like see how they do things, you feel me? So it was a really cool experience because this is my first time staying the night, so it was pretty cool.
I think the last one of these I had was our senior year of high school, the lock-in that you did as seniors. But what is an essential part of a sleepover? Like, you could put yourself in your kid's shoes now, or
food.
or take yourself back.
Food and movies.
Same way.
I mean,
movies.
You got to have, and I think now with today's kids, you better have good internet. But yeah. I think if my kids are having a sleepover, you better have a second and maybe a third gaming device, PlayStation, multiple TVs where they can, because what happens at our house is kids bring their own over, and then they want to use an HDMI cord to hook into the second TV or whatever.
System
and
link.
then they play each other, in
Xbox
whatever
Live
game,
or
whatever they're playing. So it's probably, as a parent, the smart thing would be order a bunch of pizzas.
Okay. Pizzas.
You better have good internet.
Good internet.
And probably extra gaming consoles.
Fiber preferably, and then extra gaming consoles.
I think that at our house, that's the ticket.
The similar type of setup was for us back in the day. So we would go to our friend's house. There'd be 8 of us most times. Sometimes it'd be 12. And we would have 3 different consoles, 3 or 4 different consoles, 3 or 4 different TVs. There would be 100 Dr. Peppers and Cokes downstairs.
Oh, yeah. You got to have
on ice. On ice. And I would drink.
And what you want to talk about getting me twisted off? Go open you a Coke or something and drink about a third of it, then just leave the can laying around and then go get another one. Oh.
Sounds like that he's experienced this, Big C.
Oh, all the time.
What about you, Big C? What was essential for as Tommy said,
video games was always part of it. I mean, watching sports, if your friend likes sports, is fun. Obviously, food. There's nothing worse, though, when you go to a friend's house or something and it's like there's almost like a lock on the fridge or something. It's just like, I don't know.
Oh, not at my house, man. They wipe it out.
They go through. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I get it from the parents' you don't pay for that. You're not supposed to, but just my point is you want the parents to almost adopt you for that day or whatever.
I think we've adopted them.
You're that house. Now you're not going to be the parent that serves minors,
No, that
alcohol. You wouldn't dream of doing
no,
that.
No, absolutely. But
you're cool to an extent.
Well, but the kids hanging out at my house right now are 14, 15, 16 years old. I mean,
that's about when it starts.
No,
15.
Not happening in my house.
That's good. Okay, you're a
Coke Zero is about as strong a drink as we're getting.
As they get. It was funny because you have parents that are always chill, always relaxed. Always
that's my
down
wife. That's my wife.
They're not all like that though.
I go to the golf course. I can't deal with you people. I'm leaving.
And then others are like, I don't know if we want so and so coming over. Christian, you mentioned
we got one or two like that. Yeah. Hey, they don't need to come back for a while. They tear things up.
Talking about your kid.
No, usually
Your
they're.
kids.
I gotta deal with my own kids, but these kids that come in, they're super loud, they're super destructive. But you know what? I can deal with some of that if you're respectful. But man, when you're disrespectful, particularly to my wife, and we're feeding you, and we're taking care of you, I have no tolerance.
I know
for you.
this might be hard to believe, but a lot of times, because I was a good kid throughout till high school ended, parents were actually happy when I was accompanying their son or dog, because they knew it's like, okay, you at least got one good sheep, not a bad sheep that was with that crew. And I always
Talk about the first weekend at college.
Yeah, no. My thing is like the respect. Like I'll give my parents credit. I'll give all three of them. Mom, dad, bonus mom, like all three of them. Like just the conditioning of saying yes, sir, yes, ma'am. I hate it. Drove me nuts when I was 6 years old, and if I didn't act like accidentally, wasn't out of disrespect, like would forget to say it, and then I'd hear my dad say, "Yes, sir." He'd look at me, be like, "Yes, sir," and I like it, whether it's him or anyone else. But it's funny now, and wherever I travel, it's intentional, especially with someone that I know is having a bad day, and it's an elder lady or an older dude, and they're in the workforce of whether it's airlines or restaurants or whatever. It has been conditioned. It's been slapped into me. My dad didn't slap me, but essentially that's what it was.
Should've.
And it probably would have helped. And now it's just there. So I don't think there's ever been a parent that's been like, man, Brad's kid's disrespectful.
You weren't born in the 70s and raised in the 80s that when you got dropped off for a sleepover, there was just always, hey, Tommy, you behave, and it'd look to the parent. And if he doesn't, you have my permission to bust his tail. I mean, that was just standard operating procedure back in, the 80s. So, and then if you got one at your friend's house, well, you were going to get one when you got like school. You're going to get one when you got home. So, I mean, that's part of the problem with this world.
Spare the rod.
Yeah,
right?
Well, they spoiled the rod.
Seth from Fort Smith. When I was a kid, my dad treated everyone like they were part of the family, and they could get in our fridge and eat whatever they wanted, but they also had the right to beat the mess out of you if you got out of line. And these parents went ahead and took their kids back home because they didn't want my dad to beat them. But he did give my parents a fair warning. It's funny. Like when we would Friday nights, it was either like steak or pizza nights. And I remember one of my buddies coming over, and he was my dad asked him what pizza he wanted, and he got his own pizza, and he never got his own pizza before, because me and my brother were pigs, and you see me eat. I still eat a ton till this day. Luckily, I'm not 400 pounds. It was just don't say that. Knock on wood. Jeez Louise, let's not get there.
Your metabolism will catch up with your receding hairline at some point.
But the weights and the treadmill and other stuff, trying to keep it off. But that being said, like I'll give my dad credit. They weren't always huge fans of like tons of guys coming over, but like the one or two guys that would have over on weekends and stuff, they were really cool. JT in Hot Springs, Tommy, I find so many half-drink bottles on my job that I buy to stay hydrated, and it ticks him off, his coworkers, and I guess his employees do that. I understand. It's like you wake up the next morning, there's half-drank beers around the house. That's
money.
Yeah, I get that.
Just money.
I get that. Jesse in Springdale, I got paddled by the principal in the office in first grade at Tyson Elementary School.
Yeah.
Can't do that anymore.
I got one in first grade, and I still don't know what it was for. Supposedly, I'd sighed during a reading exercise.
Man.
First grade.
That does sound like you. You can't say that doesn't sound like you.
Okay, but that's
not worthy of a paddle.
Exactly. Then I got two. I got one at home. Still angry at that teacher.
They had
44 years later. I'm still mad at her.
Conduct checks. We got conduct checks. There was one time where one of my buddies, who's funny enough, the wedding in Wisconsin next year was him. He tripped another one of my buddies in front of everyone. He falls down. He gets in huge trouble, detention, something else. And I was laughing at Zust while he's getting yelled at and in trouble.
You got one,
and then I got in trouble. not for anything I did, but for something that I think the worst though was there was this food fight in the cafeteria one time, and the timing of my dad showing up to eat with my little brother the same day of us all getting in trouble in 5th grade was the worst thing in the world. Like, just the look of disgust and anger on his face, and the worst timing in the world was bad. It's like when I sent in, I get a speeding ticket right before I go off to Fayetteville in North Little Rock. I was working, and I can't remember where I was coming from. I think it was a lawn job or something. And I hopped this hill. The cop blatantly lied about how fast he had me going. You can't track a kid or anyone for that matter. You can't, what's it called when you laser them?
Yeah.
And he said, I caught you doing this. I was like, brother, you were driving the other way. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, that's how radar works, man.
No. He was driving one way and I was driving the other. He didn't have the radar gun up where he could get that. But I wasn't going to try and contest this as a 17-year-old kid who didn't know his way around a police officer at the time. So I get this ticket, and I'm thinking to myself, I really don't want to have to tell my dad about this 2 weeks before I go to school, because he's going to think that I'm just going to do whatever, which in reality, 3 weeks later, we know what happened. So I send off this check. Little did I know that is it the judge's office, the Arkansas police or whatever?
Probably your county or circuit clerk.
Their circuit clerk or whatever.
County clerk.
They only accept cashier's checks and something else. I had like this old one that I got with my bank account like a year and a half ago. I was like, this will work. Filled out the $160 check, mailed it in. Get a call from my dad. I think the same week that I got arrested, that same week, he's like, did you get a speeding ticket? And I was like, yeah, but I paid it off. He's like, no, it came back. It rescinded. It came back. And so he's already ticked off at me about that. Then days later, the Washington County incident happens.
Yeah.
So
you compounded your problems,
nope,
brother.
it did not.
You compounded your problems. So.
We started with sleepovers and the football team being at sleepovers, and then it turned into this. Gavin says police cars are equipped with radars attached to their vehicle.
Correct.
Is that actually true?
Yes, I wasn't going to argue
with that. So they don't
with
need to use an actual gun?
Correct.
News to me. You learned something different.
Correct.
I don't think he actually.
And yes,
had
they
it.
can. They can be going a opposite direction and tell how fast you're going.
I've gotten pulled over.
Yeah.
Even if it's not like calibrate, like even if they don't have it calibrated set up.
That is how it's calibrated. So they know how fast they're going. They know how fast you're going, and the radar does the work, right?
I guess so. So I guess he wasn't
Slow
lying.
down.
He was telling the truth.
He was.
I learned this 13 years later. News to me.
Did you learn anything?
I just said I learned it.
Did you learn your lesson?
I've only got, I got a ticket going down Sang. And I think I've gotten a couple warnings since then. I think that's the only ticket, though.
Is there anything you're ever more thankful for when you get pulled over and they come back and hand you your license and a warning ticket?
Oh, yeah.
Anything you're ever more thankful for in that moment? That's about as thankful as you can be.
No, that's up there. Clint says it's calibrated before every shift, by the way. Talking about the radar.
Sounds like he knows.
Well, again, we do our best to not just teach, but we learn on this show every day from 9 to 11 a.m. And I just learned something new at 10:44 this morning.
Slow down there, Mr. Leadfoot.
Yeah.
So. Hey, one place you might want to be in a hurry to get to is Gaston's White River Resort. There's that would be the thing to tell the police officer. Why were you speeding? It's heading to Gaston's. The fish are biting. I'm going to Gaston's. But seriously, 870-431-5202 is their number. You're planning a fall getaway. Think about how hot it is right now. But think about October 15th or October 20th or early November, how nice it's going to be. The leaves, if there's any leaves left, because it seems like they're all falling off the trees right now. You can watch those as you drive through the Ozarks and get to Gaston's. I love a fall weekend at Gaston's White River Resort. Join us there. 870-431-5202 is their number. Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
It's the summer event takeover at Lewis Automotive with sizzling deals and endless adventures. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years and home of the Lewis Guarantee.
Hey, Fort Smith. Have you seen the all-new Bass Pro Shop outpost on Bass Pro Drive off Rogers Avenue? Step inside and check out the Pradco store within a store, where you can create something truly one of a kind. Pick from iconic lure shapes like the Booyah One Knocker or the Bandit 100, to name only a few. And have it custom autographed just the way you want it. It's fun, it's personal, and it's only at the brand new Bass Pro Outpost. Swing by today and make your own custom lure.
I hope this moment shows you that chasing your dreams are worth it, no matter how big or impossible they seem.
This is the Morning Rush.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. Just bring in your old car and make the switch to any one of our great road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles and get state sales tax paid when you trade. Our road-ready certified vehicles are inspected, reconditioned, and backed by a comprehensive warranty. Combine that with our non-commissioned sales team and the nation's best lenders on standby, and you've got an award-winning, hassle-free way to get your next ride. Make the switch to road-ready certified and get state sales tax paid when you trade all this month at Rath Auto Resources. 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Instant fun every day, that's a win. The chance at a life-changing jackpot? Win! Creating scholarships for Arkansas students? That's the biggest win of all. When you play the lottery, it's a win-win-win for Arkansas. So far, the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery has raised over $1.6 billion to fund more than 873,000 scholarships. Keep playing and win winning, Arkansas. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
You don't just maintain your land, you master it. And at Sutherland's, we've got the steel to help you do it. Experience the brute force of a bad boy mower. These mowers turn a weekend chore into a victory lap. But every great machine needs a home. Our Sutherland's custom barns are built to last. Call 1-800-66-BARNS. Sutherland's, with 4 stores in Arkansas, Fort Smith, Huntsville, Hot Springs, and Stuttgart, and online at Sutherlands.com. No matter the project, we're here to help, because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
Rich Eisen here with some advice. If high-interest credit card debt is grinding you down, it might be time to call an audible with a SoFi personal loan. It consolidates your debt into one low monthly payment with no fees required. And with as soon as the same-day funding, you can make the right play fast. Call an audible on your debt today at SoFi.com/debtplay. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891. Fast funds terms apply at SoFi.com/debtplay.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's the summer event takeover at Lewis Automotive with sizzling deals and endless adventures. Lewis Automotive, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years and home of the Lewis Guarantee.
Troy wanted to correct someone from earlier talking about the radar calibration, saying they are not calibrated before every shift. They are tested at the beginning of end of every shift. They're calibrated periodically by someone who is certified in the state to do that. He was a police officer for 22 years, and he taught radar class. You test them daily. You don't calibrate them daily.
That used to be the way you would try to get out of a ticket, is challenge how recently that radar had been calibrated. And if you could get lucky and they couldn't prove it had been calibrated within however many days or whatever, you could possibly get out of a ticket. But
the more
it
you
used
know.
to be one of the old ways of getting out of it. Hey, be sure and download the Hit That Line Now app. It is powered by Taco Bell, where you can feed your cravings with the Taco Bell app. It's easy and exclusive. The Taco Bell app was made just for you. Download it now to explore, customize, and start reaping the benefits on repeat. It's truly a world of possibilities. The Taco Bell mobile app. Download the official Taco Bell app, and your taste buds will officially thank you. I just hand the phone over to Dylan anymore. He likes those Lux Cravings boxes. And, Dad, can we go to Taco Bell? Yeah. I'll open it up, hand him the deal, and
make it easy.
I just drive.
Easy peasy. All right, that's going to do it for us here on the Morning Rush. Coming up halftime, Alyssa Orange, Matt Jones, Colton Little. Bud Light Morning Rush podcast will be out momentarily, including our conversation with Tom Murphy, Radars, and Ryan SIlverfield also appearing on Jim Rome yesterday, plus some thoughts from the running back room as well. Get halftimes next, followed by Ruskin and Zach. We're back tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Audi's Q8 TFSI Quattro is a sleek luxury SUV featuring a V6 turbocharged engine. The driving experience of the Audi Q8 Quattro is simply exceptional, and you can win one this month from Saracen Casino Resort and Gossett Audi of Memphis. Play to earn entries for your chance to win one of